Hello, I'm Paul.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Ben.
And welcome to FilmBusters. And the return of Adam.
FilmBusters.
We've been having a whale of a time without you, Adam. We've been holding down this podcast, boy.
You watched Gentleman, didn't you, Gentleman?
We did watch The Gentleman.
Why didn't you do 1917 instead?
Because we're doing the Uncut Gems instead. We're doing today's one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but didn't Uncut 1917 come out at the same time as Gentleman?
1917 came out at the same time as Gentleman. And also, we made a decision that 1917 is not going to be very interesting to talk about. And as we all gave it pretty much the same score, it's true. It would have been a really dull fucking podcast because we would have all gone, yeah, it was a really good war film. Yeah,
really
yeah.
good. I loved how it's one shot, but it's not really one shot.
It wouldn't have been a very funny podcast, would it? There'd have been no jokes.
No.
Our trademark humour would have been lacking.
Very much.
Speak highly of yourself there, Ben.
Good film, though.
Very good film, wonderful.
So on to this one then. We're back. We're starting
That's
the
not how it
decade.
goes, Adam.
The year starts now, okay? The year starts now.
Nah, it doesn't. We've started this already.
We started the year, baby.
Is there any scores on the quiz? No. So the year starts now.
Oh, yes. So before we start our lovely review of Uncut Gems, we have a special event happening right now. It is time for Ben to take over because he's now the host of the quiz.
Dun,
This
dun,
is true.
dun.
I forgot.
I am the host.
I actually totally forgot this was happening.
I forgot until about half an hour ago, so I had to really quickly prepare a couple of questions for you guys. So this might be a bit of a shit opening week.
How are we doing this? Are we doing it in the same tactic as Paul, or they're related to the film, or are you just going to hit me with David Lynch shit?
You're going to find out, mate. We're going to do this thing exactly how Paul did it. So if you guys don't get the points, I get the points. And I think, I don't know.
I gathered that part. That wasn't going to change. That part worked well.
We'll see.
Why don't you be a good host and explain to everyone what this quiz is? Like,
So
I
this
had
quiz-
to do every episode, and then Adam can complain as well at the end.
Yes, I don't actually know what your explanation of the quiz was, other than I asked Paul and Adam a quiz question, 2 quiz questions, and if they get it right, they get a point, and if they don't get it right, I get a point. Last year, I won by a landslide, and this year, Adam is going to hope to achieve his first victory. The first year was Paul, he won the crown. Second year was Ben, I won the crown. This is Adam's year to prove himself.
My decade, not my year, my decade.
Well, whatever the fuck. Decade is 10 years. So here we go. Are you ready to answer your first question of the year?
I'm very excited and I'm ready.
Good. There is going to be a trend, and I want to see who spots it first, but I'm not going to explain what the trend is. And it won't be discoverable today. It will be over time.
Okay.
First question. Here we go. And this is the only time I'm going to do this, and this is in honour of Paul.
Okay.
It's a tagline question. Here we go.
Okay.
What Adam Sandler movie is this tagline from? In the world of comedy, it's sink or swim.
Funny people.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Young Adam.
In the world of comedy, I don't know. I'm trying to think where he'd be a comedian in a film.
I don't think you're going to get this, my son.
Click. I don't know. It's the only one that comes to my head.
It is not either of those
Wait a minute.
children.
I think I know what it is.
Go on. You can take a guess, but you won't get the point.
Is it Going Overboard?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler's very first film and one of the worst rated films on IMDb.
Yes.
I don't watch a lot of Adam
overboard.
Sandler films.
It's a horrendous film. I've watched it.
Have you watched it, yeah?
Yeah, it's
How
terrible.
bad is it?
So terrible. So terrible.
Oh, dear.
It's like
Oh, dear.
vomit-inducing. It's disgusting.
Well, I would like to see it just for that, but actually I don't think I can be bothered. It's fucking Adam Sandler.
Yeah, but you like Happy Gilmore though, don't you, Ben?
No, I don't like Happy... Well, Happy Gilmore's fine. It's what's that one? The Billy Madison, which is the golf one. I don't like that one.
Happy Gilmore's a good golf
Happy
one.
Gilmore.
Yeah, I don't like Happy Gilmore.
Billy Madison's the kiddie one, where he plays like an adult
Billy Madison's fine. All right, are you ready for the next question, children?
Yes, please.
kid. Go for it.
In what film was Robert Pattinson acting in when his hair started to fall out because of how many times he had bleached his hair?
Good Times.
Oh, nicely done. I didn't think anyone was going to get it.
It literally came to my head as soon as Adam said it. Damn it!
Do you know why I said that? Because I saw it pop up on Netflix earlier, and I looked at his hair, and it's all very bleached. It's like a bleached
Look
hair.
at that now.
I was thinking of Twilight, then I was like, no, there's something with his hair bleached, and then it came to me. Damn it!
I was going to say Harry Potter because that's the only one that came into my head.
He had to shave all his hair off afterwards because it was such a
Get
terrible
fucked,
job.
Paul. Get fucked.
Well done. Well done,
It
Adam.
might
Look
be
at
your
this.
birthday. You might be 30, but you're last in the quiz.
I
And
know,
that's how you're
no
going to
present.
enjoy. That's how you're
No
going to end your
birthday
year
present
of
for
being
him.
29. How do you
Ouch.
feel about that?
Very poisonous.
It is poisonous, but Adam's got smelling blood this year. So that means
told you.
for the opening
prisoners.
week of the quiz, 1 point for me and 1 point for Adam, and no points for Paul. This is a miracle.
It's lovely.
I
I'm
believe
glad
in
you guys
miracles.
are getting a chance for once.
Oh,
Here we go.
I promise the questions will be better.
It's
in
not
the
so
future,
easy this
but
side of the table, is
They
it?
were
When they
good
make
questions.
stupidly hard questions.
I know. See now, Paul has to now prove himself because all his points were from our lack of knowledge. Now he's got to show
When
knowledge.
he's making stupid questions up that was stupid.
Let's see how he's going to do. I don't think very well.
These two are very bitter people.
This is like getting out of Nazi Germany and into like a new world. It's like
Yes.
Hitler's left and he's no longer in control of the quiz, but you can have fun.
Charles Manson's in charge now.
We might get 3 questions. We might not have to read out the rules every week. You never know.
You never know. This is all good. Well done, boys.
Well
so
done.
that's that. We're done. We're done.
Lovely. Beautiful.
See you next week.
Shall I introduce the main event?
I'm looking forward to discussing the main event. Let's move on to that.
Let's roll that theme tune.
Oh, main event.
The main event. Here is our feature topic, plus Adam might do a rubbish plot summary.
Are you fucking serious?
Right, so guys, we are talking about Uncut Gems today, the new lovely Adam Sandler film from
Why'd
the
you say lovely? Why'd you say lovely?
I always
You're
say
revealing
lovely.
your hands.
I say lovely every single time, no matter what.
Bait it out.
I've
You
never
spoiled it
noticed
for
that.
everyone now.
I always
Yes.
say lovely. I say it too many times.
You've
I say it
revealed
too
your
much.
hand.
So we're talking about the new Adam Sandler film by the Safdie brothers. Yes? Are you happy with that so far? You're not going to complain?
That's certainly factual.
No bias there, no bias.
So this is a spoilerific episode, so we will be going straight into spoilers. We don't hang around here. We don't talk about non-spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, we're going to spoil it. So go and watch it, then come back. But firstly,
It's on
Adam,
Netflix.
would you like to explain the plot?
Okay, so this here is a film with Adam Sandler in it, who decides he's a diamond dealer, or he deals in diamonds and gems, obviously, because it's Uncut Gems. And yeah, he then he gets a gem in and he gives it to this basketball player. This basketball player is like, this is really making me good. And he gives him this ring, and it's all about him gambling. He's got no money, but he's gambling. He borrows money of people and gambles it, and yeah. And it gets really intense.
Yeah.
I've missed
Very
your
good-
little
very good,
plot
Adam.
summaries.
Who did the plot summary for Gentlemen?
Ben
I think I did.
Yeah, it was
It
very
wasn't
good.
very good.
Best
Oh.
It's
I've
quite
ever
hard to
heard.
do, isn't it, Ben?
It is hard to do, actually.
It was the best I've ever heard, Adam.
No.
That's what
From
she
Ben,
said.
not from you, sorry.
But yeah, he's a diamond dealer and he's basically a gambler as well, and he's going through divorce and all that.
That's about the size
watch
of it.
It is.
That's about the size of it. So before we get into our points of view, boys, shall we hear a little from some of our wonderful followers on Twitter and see what they thought of Uncut Gems?
I would
Don't
love
give
that.
away your reactions when we read them out, though.
I will not.
Okay. Go ahead, Adam. You read the first.
I'm going to go for one here from Kevin Moore, Watches Things. It's Kevin spelled with a C instead of a K. It's very short, it's very abrupt. Don't think he enjoyed it too much. He called it noisy and ugly. Full stop.
Jurassic Mark said, it's a shame that it has taken this film for a lot of people to realise that Adam Sandler is/can be a genuinely brilliant actor. The film itself is yet another great anxiety attack brought to you by the genius minds of the Safdie brothers.
For Your Reference, our lovely friends at For Your Reference, they say, is it an anxiety-inducing mindfuck? Absolutely. When you remove that, what do we have? A relentless, frustrating lead that burned everyone around him. That could have been interesting if there were more layers to him and the world around him.
This one here is from Sam. It was a film where normal breathing didn't resume until the end of the credits. Extreme tension should be a new Olympic sport. And Adam Sandler has done the impossible. I've actually got a positive opinion of him now.
Here's one that's a little bit in the middle. The Contrarian Prime said, I'll sound like a broken record, but not as good as Good Time, but with a better ending.
This next one's from Movie Virgins podcast. They say, the sound was overwhelming. I was uneasy the entire time, just taking it all in. And Sandler crushes. How did you make me give a shit about Howard Ratner?
This one here is from Mikey. I need to see it with a pause button so I can get up and walk away and calm down. So I guess it did its job.
And finally, from Moku, which is at Films Japan, I found his character deciding to gamble everything a little bit contrived, so the ending was a bit false to me. Until that point, it was a very solid and tense ride. A wide spectrum there, but genuinely it seems pretty positive.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd say more positive than negatives.
Apart from Kevin with a C.
Yeah, Kevin hated
yes.
it. Kevin hated it.
But the reasons that Kevin hated it are also the reasons that some people here seem to have enjoyed it. The sort of overwhelming, uneasy nature. With that being said, we got to move on immediately to our first reactions. So we're going to do a minute uninterrupted first, yeah?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Who wants to go first?
I'm going to go first this week because I'm back here. Everyone's excited to hear me.
Jesus.
Why people are actually turning up.
Go for
I'm
it.
joint first in the quiz. So it's obviously established. Everything's going my way. I can't even say that with a straight face. I gave this film 8 out of 10.
You're waiting for our reactions then, weren't you?
I didn't know actually what to say. I very much enjoyed the build-up. It was a bit all over the place. It was a bit messy. It didn't really make too much sense. But somehow I think it was meant to be like that. It didn't really work. You were kind of like, oh, please don't do that the whole time. There was, nothing was really explained too well. It just kind of happened. But again, it all kind of seemed to work this time in this film, in this style. But the ending, the last 20 minutes, really brought the film out. And I really, really enjoyed those last 20 minutes when obviously the final climax happens. But yeah, that was brilliant. And I was sitting on the edge of your seat. And yeah, like everyone's been saying so far, you were like extremely anxious. You couldn't stop. You couldn't take your eyes off it. You just had to find out what was happening. And it's why, again, sport is so brilliant, but then making it through with £1 million on the line as well. Yeah.
Look at that.
Look at that.
That's how Adam wins. Would you
Anyway,
like to go next, Paul?
Okay, I'll go next. Right, so what did I think of Uncut Gems? Firstly, I just want to say I thought Adam Sandler was fantastic in it. He did an amazing job. And the film, overall, was extremely captivating. I was really enjoying it. I never got bored. I never got thrown out of the rhythm of the film. But one thing I got to say is his character was so annoying. He was like Mr. Bean, right? The situations he was putting himself in were just annoying me so much. But I wasn't saying it was annoying me like the film was annoying me. It was more like, I love Mr. Bean, but I wasn't watching Mr. Bean. But then the end of the film, I love the end of the film. I didn't like the build-up to the end of the film. And as you said, Adam, about the sports side of things, maybe because I don't like sports, but it was really... It was probably the most exciting part of the least exciting part of the film, not the most exciting part of the film. And apart from the ending, which suddenly ramped up, I would say that was probably the weakest part. But what I tend to think about in films, when a film suddenly ramps up at the end, where it's expecting you to go, wow, I think it's because it's expecting you to leave the theatre thinking better of the film than it was. And that's kind of what Once Upon a Time in Hollywood done. And I have to sit back and think, okay, but was it as good as the ending was? And for that reason, I don't think it was as good as the ending was, and I'll give it 8 out of 10.
Still a fair score considering...
No, it was a fair score, but I'm saying...
I was expecting you to drop it to like a 6, like, considering...
But
still a fair old score.
They are the reasons why I didn't give it higher, because everyone's really giving this film a high score. So I feel like we should be out there to say why it's not a good film.
All right, well, you're not going to get that input from me because I give this film a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
I probably think that this film, at this moment in time, because I only saw Parasite last night, I'm trying to toss up whether this or Parasite is better, because currently Parasite is also a 9. And I said to myself, based on this conversation I have with you two now, by the end of this conversation, I will decide if Uncut Gems places as the best film, or if it will be Parasite. But all of the things that you said about the ending, I agree with totally in terms of how most films do it. A lot of them really lift up at the end, and you kind of left with the feeling of walking out of the cinema that, wow, that was euphoric, that was great. And had, like you say, if that ending hadn't happened, would the whole film have been great? actually, with Uncut Gems, I could, even if they hadn't killed him off at the end, I would have loved this film because the energy that was going along with it all the way, like, whether if he had lived, if he had won that bet and walked away from it, or if something else had happened, I would have still loved it because it was so hectic, stressful, energetic from the off. Like, there was no relenting. The whole film was the ending. It had that level of suspense and tension and like intensity. There was no let up. There was no reprieve. There was no like, here's a chance for the dust to settle. Here's some sit down moment. Here's a soft conversation. Every fucking scene was laced with like energy and intensity, and like anything could happen at any moment. And I have not had that experience with a film since I don't know when, to constantly be on edge. And that, coupled with the performances and the way it was shot, I just think was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It was like one thing or another was going to bite him at the end of this film. He had done so many dodgy things, whether it's going to... Is the family catching out that he's got his mistress on the side, all of this kind of thing. One of these things was going to bite him, all the people he owed money to, one of them people was going to come back and get him. He was just gambling everything at all times.
Yeah, the more it wasn't just money, it was life.
The more I think about the build-up to this film, the more I enjoyed it. But during the time, I just remember thinking, it is so chaotic. I was like, where is this film going? And it just made complete sense at the end. But now I think if I was again to rewatch this film, knowing exactly what I'm getting myself in for, again, I think it was like I went to see Lighthouse last night. It would be the same as that. Now you know what you're going to get yourself in for. You'd have a complete different experience watching it again. And you might be able to appreciate all the little things in the build-up throughout.
Yeah, it's always the same about relaxing into a film, isn't it? After you've watched it, you experience it in a totally different way, and it can go either way. Really, you can like it more.
It is a film that I think will grow with me. The more I watch it, the more you'll be like, okay, wow, this is a good piece of cinema.
Do you feel like you would relax into this film? Is that the right words? Because I feel like if you watch this again,
no, but you know what you're getting. You know what ride you're expecting.
Exactly, but you know where it's heading. You know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah,
so
but you also
make it less stressful, man.
I didn't know anything about this film before I went in. I just knew he was a gem dealer. That's all I knew.
Yeah,
it was lovely going to this film not knowing anything. Really great.
Yeah, but so you don't know. So you're almost trying to work out. You're trying to work out exactly what this film is throughout the film.
I think you've got an opening 20 minutes where everything's a bit chaotic. So many people are talking, and this is the style that I liked. I liked the fact that lots of characters were talking constantly, and you quickly realise, right, you're never just going to have a scene where you can hear two people having a conversation. There's constantly going to be ambience. There's going to be other people talking.
You're in
the
New
camera's
York
going to be
City,
cutting. Exactly, it feels.
You're throwing yourself.
Like
you're engrossed. You are engrossed in this film from the offset,
and in this chaotic world that you inhabit.
There's no escape. You're in. That's it, and you don't want to leave it either until the end.
No. And the reason that's it, because it's so far removed from my life. My life is not anything like his life, and I loved the film because of that. Because it took me from my life and put me in that mental 2 hours, and I was in it. And that's what you want from cinema, isn't it? You want it, not even escape, but just to let me be in another environment. Yeah.
He's just living on a knife's edge, isn't he? He's like, it's almost he wants to self-sabotage. It's crazy. Like, no matter what kind of situation he's in, it's just how the hell can I fuck this up for myself? And that is what he did.
I don't think he's trying to fuck it up for himself.
No, he's not trying to fuck it up for himself. But that is like that's what the film was. It's like let me put me in a situation, and then when it was writing, how can I fuck this up the most?
Yeah. But also, what I thought was very strong about this film is there was a lot of strong performances from different characters throughout the film.
There was no weak characters.
Yeah, these that you do completely just you you kind of forget it's Adam Sandler almost straight away.
I mean, I never forgot it was Adam Sandler. The whole time I was thinking,
I know,
Adam Sandler's doing a good job here. I was thinking that all the way.
How far away from like the general kind of character he plays do you think it was?
It wasn't too far. Really.
I don't think it was either.
There's an underlying thing about him. He does, yeah. He's always got to kiss the hot girl as well, hasn't he?
He's a filthy.
What is your position on the females in this film?
I don't know, really. I thought Julia Fox's character was quite strong. She was quite an independent person, but whether I don't know. I don't think it was meant to be
Julia Fox's girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you know her name? I've never even seen her before.
No, she's a newbie.
She's all over Twitter. Like, people are like obsessed with her because of it. That's why I know. But I don't know if it's a film that was kind of trying to send a message with strong characters and for female variety, but she was quite... Obviously, she had her own game plan going on as well. So, yeah.
But she didn't really. That was what I thought was kind of cool about her character, is you were waiting for the moment of betrayal.
What, she's gonna fuck him over?
It never came.
Yeah, during the end, I expect she was waiting for it, but...
Yeah, totally. That was what that ticking bomb was.
Yeah, but she had her
own
thing going on. She could think for herself, like the whole thing at the end in the casino. Like, she's like, that's when you really see it. It's like, all right, she's got to think on her feet here, and she's still like.
I don't think she's very independent though.
She's
sticking with Adam Sandler because he's got shitloads of money, and that's it.
Yeah, I think that is the main.
I don't think it was meant to be a film that was meant to portray a message of that at all. Like, I don't think when they were writing this film, they're not going to try and write those characters into the film. I think it's just. The characters, it's one of those other things they film the characters fit around the main character. They don't have their other arcs. It's only Adam Sandler's arc.
No, but she did have an arc. But I guess not an arc, but she was a significant character because
she grew and she had her own. Yeah, by the end
it was more that she didn't fulfill that trope. Like, if she had just taken the money and run, I would have said this is potentially more of a sexist film, because it's like, these bitches are gonna betray you in the end. But the fact that she did want to go back to him, okay, it's probably not really love, but that relationship that was established based on the apartment, the money, the lingerie, the expensive clothes, all of that, it developed into something else. So she was loyal to him.
Yeah, I don't think it might not have started off as love and for the right reasons, but I do think it then did become that thing. I think she did generally care about him.
But it's a bit telling of her character that during the weekend scene, that she was a little bit swaying towards him because she was giving him the attention. She knows that the weekend's big, right? So that's obviously where it's obviously started from, this relationship, because she's always going after the money. And she knows that Adam Sandler's getting this.
Well, she's a prostitute.
A prostitute?
Yeah, she's a prostitute.
She's not a prostitute.
I swear she said she was like, I was going to make big money off him then. And you ruined for me.
She's like a promoter or something, isn't she?
I got the idea that she was going to try and get him to pay for sex.
No.
Oh.
Do you know what she was probably actually doing? Was trying to get him in to come to the jewelry store.
That's it. Yeah, when they were trying exactly. Yeah. Exactly, that's what it was. Like Lakeith Stanfield was doing the same thing. The way he brought in KG, it was the exact same thing. They were just there to draw people to the store.
I just thought, because the whole scene before, when she's in the cupboard with him and she's trying to lead him on, like teasing and teasing and teasing. So that's why I thought
it was probably to lure him to the store.
Yes, it's true. Yeah. Now I think about it, it's probably true.
Because why would she care about $100 off the weekend?
Probably, yeah.
But also the other one, the wickedly talented
Adele Dazeem. I was surprised to see her in this.
I was surprised because I didn't know what she looked like, and then when I saw her name in the credits, I was like, "What? She's old." I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I thought Adele Dazeem was like a 20-something singer. I had no idea she was like in her 40s. It took me by surprise.
I recognised her as soon as I saw her because I know what she looks like, and I was thinking, Elsa in this film.
Look at that.
What are you doing?
But see, she was an interesting character because also she was a wife who wasn't going to buy into her husband's bullshit. When that moment when he comes to her and he's sort of filled with a bit of regret, and he's like, "Come on, we can make this work. We can do this." And she's like, "Get the fuck out! I don't want to see you. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to know you."
Yeah,
I liked that. There
Strong.
Was no
that's why I thought it's interesting to talk about these female characters, because there was a strong representation of women. It wasn't just there was meaning behind them, rather than just let me write a female who's,
they were both
who's
meaning,
been cheated on.
for him. They were only there for they were there for the story.
Yeah, they didn't exist as their own characters. They only existed around him. Yes, it's true.
Well, yeah, to assist his downfall.
Yeah, they were dynamic, interesting characters. I didn't watch this film and go, "Oh shit, characters." One thing I got to say about what's her name, Adam, the mistress,
Julia, wasn't she? Yeah,
Julia Fox or whatever.
Yeah.
There is that scene after she chases after Adam Sandler to the cab, and he gets in a cab, and she walks away.
Oh yes.
Did she have arse implants, and are they real? Because it was ridiculous how her arse moved. Did you see that arse moving?
I did think that too. Yeah.
It was like 2 water balloons
I think it was real because when you saw her just her underwear, she did have that bum.
I didn't notice her bum then.
You were looking away.
Yeah, I was looking away.
Too busy concentrating on Adam Sandler's teeth.
I was. Anyway, we won't have the conversation about the fake ass, but I was sure it was a fake ass.
Yeah.
Whether or not it is, I mean, I didn't know if it was like the actresses or the characters, but like you say, if you saw her with her knickers off, then that explains it.
Knickers off.
You'll get your panties off, sirs.
I want to discuss what's his name, Howard Ratner as a character. Didn't he annoy you at sometimes?
Yeah, it's just him though, isn't it? It's meant to be like that.
But like, as some of our reviewees on Twitter have said, I can't believe you made me love a character like Howard. I never loved him.
I felt for him. I wanted him to win.
I don't know. I don't think I did.
There was some part of me that was kind of like, oh, you can pull this off. Like, when he kind of forgot, when he had to go find something, like he left the ring in the shop and he was like, oh shit. I was like getting nervous for him. I was like, oh, I really hope you get this off and you pull this off. I
didn't like his destructive personality, so I wasn't with him.
Yeah, but I kind of like, there's something about that. It's just like, it's almost like Walter White at the end of Breaking Bad. I still wanted him to win, no matter what he did in that meantime.
That is an interesting comparison, actually, because I spoke to a lot of people, and I always want to know how they felt about Walter White at the end of Breaking Bad. And I liked him, but like Zoe and my brother really didn't like him.
I still wanted him to win to the end.
Mm. But anyway...
But the same with him. I was actually kind of a bit upset. Look, it was spoilers now. Massive spoilers. Like, we're going straight to the end. When he died. When he got shot at the end, I was like, oh shit. And I was like, oh, that's really sad. Like, the moment of becoming a millionaire to being dead. Like, you've just won. Like, you think everything is sorted in your life right now. And then, bam, you're getting shot in the face. I was like, oh, like... I wanted him to come out and be happy.
I never thought it was going to be a happy ending, ever.
His happiness, I was like, oh, yes, you finally done it. I'm happy for you. Like, okay, you can get out of this shit now and, like, move on with your life and get away from all this.
But you know that he wouldn't, right? So
no.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't, but, yeah.
If he had, that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't have been happy for him, but I wasn't annoyed by him. For me, he worked as a character because he was frustrating. So all the way through, yes. He made so many bad choices.
It's like a little guy who you want to just do well. Like you keep seeing him fuck up. He gets a good chance.
Yeah.
Somebody who gets like a job and they get a good opportunity, but then they fuck it up, and you're like, oh, I really wish you didn't do that. But and then he gets another one. You're like, I really hope this one works for you. Like,
it's like someone that you know who does annoying things and is annoying, but you really like them, so you still want them around. Adam, you know.
Yeah. Why do you say it like that?
No, but I mean, it's so, like, seriously, like, it worked very well for the character because I feel like Adam Sandler did enough to make you like it, for me anyway, like his character, but to be frustrated with him and the decisions he was making. And every time he took another risk and another gamble and another stupid punt on something, the reason that it was frustrating, surely, was because you didn't want him to do it. You wanted him to just be happy, just settle, just don't do this, just do this, just do this. So the frustration comes from actually liking him and not wanting him to do that bad shit. But at the end, there was never going to be an end point for him. When he sits down with KG in the back office and says, this is how I win, there is no end to it. There's always another push, no matter how much money you win, no matter how much you got. That's why he's constantly bringing stuff into the store and pawning it out, trading it out. Like, the chaotic nature of his life, he can never settle. He will 100%. Never, nothing will ever be good enough for him. He needs more. And it's to his credit, I think, that it didn't make me dislike him because of that. That being said, when he was shot, it was more like, well, yeah, rather than, oh, good.
It's like you led yourself to this situation.
Yeah. I mean, were you surprised? So the moment of the shot was surprising, naturally, when it sort of just comes out of nowhere like that, is a bit surprising. But were you surprised that was the reaction of these guys after he'd fucking trapped them in the glass booth for like 3 hours?
No.
Of course that guy was
in some ways off. I was a bit like, you're getting your money now. Like, he sorted you out. Like,
no, yeah, but don't you think so? My interpretation of that, right, was that guy, the guy who shot him, he was the heavy. He wasn't the guy that he owned the money to.
Yeah.
So Adam Sandler was going to give that guy a shitload of money, but that heavy wasn't necessarily going to. And that heavy was more fiery and shit. So in that situation, he was like, "Fuck this guy, bang, bullet in the head, steal all his shit. Let's get the fuck out of here. I'm done with this guy."
You can feel it coming because he's obviously been held back by what's the brother-in-law called?
Arno. I thought it was Arnold, but he's actually called Arno.
Yeah. You could see it bubbling over because he was obviously because he was family. He was obviously holding these two heavies back, and it was annoying. You could see the frustration in these guys that like no matter what they were never going to really hurt him or kill him until that moment where he's obviously frustrating him so much, and as you say, as soon as you see that gun, you know it's got to go off. It's not just for show.
It's true. That's true. Yeah.
So. I could see it coming. As soon as that door buzzer went, I was like, here we go. It's happening.
Yeah. I fucking loved... See, I think the Safdies deserve most of the credit. Adam Sandler was fantastic, but the Safdies deserve the credit for creating such a stressful environment where even that scene, when KG finally turns up with a gem after like for an hour of him being led astray, when he finally turns up with that gem and he can't come through the door, I'm like, oh my god, get that fucking door open, just get that gem off him, man.
That was my Mr. Bean moment. That's why I was like, oh come on, man, open the... This is like Mr. Bean puts himself in these situations.
You didn't like it? What? You thought it wasn't good or what?
This is the thing, I liked it, but it was annoying me a little bit, like, just get the door open. This kind of thing, you know. But I guess it's a credit to the film for having the writing that makes me feel these emotions. It was annoying in the sense of this film's really annoying me. It's like the situation is annoying me.
I suppose so. But see, what's interesting is the word that you are using is annoying, whereas a lot of people like online and like my experience is like sort of stress and anxiety caused by that situation. But you're using the word annoying.
Well, I kind of mean it in the same sense.
I think that is a negative reaction to the film. I think being annoyed... I think if you're annoyed by something in a film, then I think that does suggest that you are annoyed at the film.
I was more annoyed at the situation that he put himself in. But as you say, that's probably credit to the writing for me to obviously have some kind of emotional connection to the film to be actually getting annoyed at the situation that he's put himself in.
Yes. What of just the way the whole fucking thing was filmed?
Like erratic, like handheld camera. Yeah.
It felt like old cinema, didn't it? Like the 70s or something.
Yeah.
It was definitely it wasn't set in modern day, was it?
Well, it was only like 2012, but yeah. Furbies were obviously still a thing back then.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the build up to it. It was nothing made sense, but it did at the same time. And then you thought, okay, this film is meant to be like this. You're not like, oh, they missed, like, it's been badly edited. It was, you get the tone of the film quite quickly, ish. I do really want to rewatch it and knowing completely the tone of the film, but yeah.
Yeah, it deserves a rewatch. What was I going to say? Yeah, what I would have really been interested in is whether or not the basketball games you see playing out in front of you were actually real games that they've taken from, because obviously he's a real basketball player.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they crafted it around like some real games that he's played.
I mean, it might be possible. I don't know. There was a lot of stuff of him on the court, just sort of looking like he was psyching himself up. But I
mean, they might have been CGI, but the actual game itself, like in goal, they used Real Madrid versus Arsenal, didn't they?
Yeah.
Even though Arsenal won that game, but they.
You know what was really, really weird? In the game, it was the Celtics versus... Who was it? Can you remember?
I know.
Philadelphia. Celtics. It was Boston versus Philadelphia in that basketball game.
Yeah.
Right? And as the film ended, I went onto Twitter to just start seeing what people were saying about it. And at the top, promoted, was the Celtics v Philadelphia basketball match literally about to start. And I thought, how fucking creepy is that? I wonder if that was intentional, because it released on Friday the 31st, so it's like, oh, let's play the game then. Or probably that's when they decided to release the film. But you know what? I don't know much about basketball, but I didn't really feel like you needed to be honest. I was just going by his reaction in that final scene.
Yeah, you don't.
And actually, you know what was anticlimactic? the game, for me, the basketball game hadn't ended, and then suddenly he spun around and was going, oh, and then he calls her on the phone. He's like, "We won. It's over. We won." It's like the game didn't end. They should have had that moment on screen so we could see it end.
In basketball, if there's like 30 seconds left and you're kind of behind by like a certain score, they kind of just surrender the game.
Do they? Okay.
So if you're like 10 points behind and there's like you're 15 seconds left, they'll just kind of be like, all right, that's the game. Like
fucking defeatist, aren't they? American sports people, they don't know how to do it. They got no spirit, like us British Lions.
Raw independence. Brexit
It's coming home. It's coming home.
I think it was a bit of a letdown. The whole, although the potential was building inside, like them inside the locked room, I don't think it was very good tension building the whole game. Maybe because I didn't know what was going on, like with the game. But I was like, I'm just watching a basketball game and he's just getting excited. It's not like, oh my god, now they're losing. Oh, he's just getting. It was like, yeah.
There wasn't a point where you thought the bet wasn't going to come off.
But
no,
you know what?
I mean.
But you know what? That would have been a little bit too on the nose, right? That'd have been a bit too obvious if he started suddenly going, we've seen that in a lot of films where suddenly someone's winning and then it's like, oh no,
but do you reckon that was because of the gem? Do you reckon he was trying to prove that the gem really was that great, that you could win with no problem?
Adam Sandler didn't believe in the gem. It was just KG who believed in the gem.
Yeah, but he believed that he believed in the gem.
Yeah, he believed that he did. Yeah, for sure. That's the only reason he placed the bet, for sure, yeah.
One thing I thought was going to play out, but it didn't, was I thought that he was going to break open the gem and it was going to be like some bullshit.
I was waiting for that.
I was waiting for it to be fake, yeah.
Yeah, like when he was rubbing it in the dressing rooms.
Oh, I know. That, I agree 100%. At that moment, I thought, shit, it's going to be a dud, isn't it?
Yeah.
And his mate, the guy who brought KG to the jewellery, is going to have run off with the original. But that'd be well too sophisticated a plan to pull off in 24 hours. But like when his mate wasn't bringing the gem round for those first couple of times, like that's where the stress really started to build up, because you're like thinking, Adam, man, why don't you call this guy, Adam Sandler, I mean, why don't you say to this guy, don't come to me if you haven't got the fucking gem. Bring the gem, rather than waiting for him to arrive and then be like, have you got a gem? No. And when that started building, I started thinking, right, this is the guy who's going to run off with the gem. And the thing that worked really well about that fucking gem is that in every scene it was in, you were very aware of the fact that the gem was in the scene and how much it meant to Adam Sandler, what all of that money meant. So it was like that Alfred Hitchcock bomb of fucking, you place the bomb in the scene and show people there's a bomb, and they're just waiting for it to go off. That's what it was with that fucking gem. When he was walking down the street with it just in the box in his hand, I was like, someone's going to fucking just run and take this.
Yeah, I thought that.
It was very true, actually. When his mate ransacked the office to get his watches.
Oh, yeah, and he just left it on the side.
He's like, oh, he's got the gem. But no, he didn't have the gem. When he fell in the water, I was like, oh, it's not in the box.
Exactly. But this was what was beautiful, because none of those things actually came to fruition. It wasn't ever robbed. It wasn't ever stolen. His mate didn't walk out of the office with it. But the Safdies have constantly got that in your mind. That's what was so stressful about the situation. Is you, like in real life, stress mostly comes from things that don't happen. It's the worry that something might happen. Mm-hmm. And in this film, that's what it keeps you doing. The worry that, shit, that's not going to work. That's not going to be there. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Fucking more power to it, man.
Did you know that Uncut Gems features the 4th most F words in film history?
I did know that. I told Jenny that. And I was surprised because it didn't really seem like it did.
Yeah.
I think it was because there was so much
408
conversation.
times.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I noticed it happen. Like, they never felt out of context either. They never felt unnatural.
I feel like 3/4 came from Adam Sandler.
I can't remember him swearing all that much. He must have.
Yeah, he did. 100%. On the phone, when he's like, you better you fucking traitor, you fuck.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Can I tell you the one scene? So basically, like always, in preparation for this film, knowing I'd given it a 9, if you boys had given it a 10, because I'm surprised that I'm the one who's rating this the highest. I thought you boys would love this. But if you two had given it a 10 or a 9... this was the bit I was going to focus on, particularly that I didn't like, and it was what I think was meant to be a really significant emotional scene when he goes back to his office and his mistress comes and they're both crying.
Yeah.
Both of them, the acting was terrible. Not terrible, but not convincing at all. To the point where I didn't trust the scene. I didn't believe that.
Yeah, felt very unnatural.
Like I thought Howard was faking it, and I thought she was faking it, but no, it was genuine. It's just that Adam Sandler and Julia Fox didn't act that well, and also it reversed the energy of the previous scene where it was like Adam Sandler's going out on his own. He's just tried to make amends with his wife. He's getting into a new place in life, and then it's like, no, he's caving. He's going back to his mistress, and she's just like, okay, I'll go back to you. But in effect, it works. Two poisonous people coming back to each other in a way. But I just didn't like that scene. It didn't hold weight for me. And I feel like if this is the scene you're going to show Adam Sandler crying in, I need to believe it.
Yeah.
Maybe he just couldn't cry, and they were like, "Oh fuck it, let's just put it in."
He can't because he's Adam Sandler. Of course he can't. Adam Sandler can't do that level of fucking dramatic acting. This is why he's not nominated for an Oscar. He doesn't deserve to be either. Let's put it out there.
No.
The film was great, but he doesn't deserve an Oscar.
No. It was a bit like Phantom of the Opera, that scene, wasn't it? Where he's like, "Don't look at my face! Don't look at my face!"
He was so bust up. I like, visually, it was a stunning film to fucking look at. It was like dripping with New York energy constantly, and flash, pizzazz. It was intoxicating, man. Even those gaudy Furbies, the gaudy like Sonic Celtics rings, all of that stuff. You can see why people would get caught up in that way of life. It's so gaudy and showy.
Yeah. See, I did really enjoy this film, but I just knew when I was watching it, and when I left the film, I was like, I didn't love it. There was something missing from it, and it's really hard for me to think what it is, but it didn't. I don't know. I just didn't fall in love with it like everyone else is.
I just feel there's so much going on in this film that
It definitely needs another watch.
Let me say this, right? In my opinion,
Yeah.
I think personally, nothing will ever be as good as the first watch on this film because of how chaotic and shit it is. Because you constantly don't know if the gem is going to slip or something. When you know all of that, it takes a little of the sting out of it.
Yeah, it's very true.
I guess the only part at the end is the only ending wouldn't have the same effect. I feel like that's what's going to be lacking.
It would still be good to watch it again, but I feel like you would vote down rather than up on a second watch.
I think different. I think it would grow for me.
I'm surprised you say that. Like something like Parasite, I could see why a second, third viewing might upgrade the film, but something like this, less so, but where the stakes are constantly in the film. Because Parasite isn't a film about stakes, whereas in this, there's stakes in everything. You know I love stakes. This is what I always tell you in it about the Marvel film. There's no stakes. I don't believe in anything. This had stakes aplenty. There was constant fucking stakes.
Rare stakes, mate.
This is the main case. Sorry to
Very
change
rare.
the film completely now. And spoilers for 1917 if anyone's listening. I'm going to talk about this quickly because I talk about stakes in film and it's quite current. That's why 1917 for me lost a lot of its element. Is you knew the stakes were there, that I didn't feel like the stakes were raised. You knew he was going to make it to the end. He's by himself. There was never at any point I felt where he wasn't going to make it. Yes, there's the stakes of 1,600 people going to die, but you kind of always knew deep down inside what was going to happen. So there wasn't those stakes.
I didn't. I thought that the guy could have gone ahead. When Mark Strong says to him, make sure when you tell him
that's the
there's
only
people
thing.
Listening, I thought, fuck,
Yeah.
he's just going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. And then he was like, oh, it's like, oh yeah, I won't do it.
Anyway, let's not talk about 1917.
Well, but you could say the stakes. There was no stakes with the Adam Sandler film because you could say Adam Sandler, you know, is going to make it to the end of the film, regardless whether he dies or not.
Yeah, but you knew what was going to happen as a consequence of that. I just felt in 1917 that wasn't there. But anyway, let's not talk about that.
It's a good point, but that's you know, you're never going to capture that on any repeat viewings when a film relies on the tension of certain moments. It's also like with a horror film, in a way. A horror film is always going to work best on the first viewing when you don't know what's going to happen. And whether you like horror films or not, if you watch that same horror film a second or third time, you know where the jumps are, the scares are. All of those suspenseful moments lose all of it because you know, all right, well, nothing's going to happen for another 5 minutes.
It's very true.
All right, so as a conversation piece leading on, because this is where it's now led to, generally speaking about film, you boys say this quite a bit. You say, I feel like on a rewatch it will be this, or on a rewatch it will be that. Do you think that initial impressions of any film then are, in essence, wrong?
No.
I don't know.
Do you feel like you can't judge properly? Give your I mean, ratings are abstract, ridiculous things. It only matters to people on Letterboxd and Twitter. But like in life, the way you view and perceive a film, is it based on that one viewing, or do you have to have several viewings in order to really have a grasp of what
I don't think that film? I don't know. I don't think
works
you need to, but you're definitely. This is why ratings of films change completely, all the time.
I love to watch this film again.
Yeah, because you might, and even a film you love, you might, like Whiplash for me always goes up. Every single time I watch it, I love it even more and more and more. There's other films you watch and you're like, we say, I think we did it on the Tarantino podcast, where a lot of them you rewatch them and they just don't have that same effect and they almost go down.
So then, Adam, what I'm trying to get at here is potentially Uncut Gems could be for you the best film of this year. If you watch it a couple of more times, you could upgrade it to a 10 and you could decide that it's better than Parasite.
Oh, I won't be doing that, but yeah.
Well,
I think with Parasite for me, I feel like if I rewatch that film, it's going to go even higher. Like,
yeah.
I've thought about that film so much in the last 3 months.
Totally. Parasite, I don't want to get off topic, but I'm just sort of talking about this repeat viewing thing. I think there's certain films that do require several viewings in order to really immerse yourself in. Parasite is one of them because so much is going on.
Yeah, and
but Uncut Gems, so much is going on, but on the surface, there's no hidden meaning to anything. Everything is surface with Uncut Gems. What you see is what you get. Mm-hmm. It's just about how familiar you are with it. Whereas Parasite, you have to dip back in. It's like a David Lynch. You can't go once. You have to go 3, 4, 7 times.
Fight Club's another one. Fight Club. You repeatedly watch that film.
Exactly.
And every single time you notice it more and more, and it grows more and more and more.
Totally. But then that being said, there's lots of incredible
layers
films
in that film.
You like to watch multiple times that are very surface. Like Reservoir Dogs hasn't got any hidden meaning. There's little Easter eggs and little things you find out, but you just want to keep watching it.
But that's a different type of film.
I feel like with those kind of films, you love it from the off.
That's it. That's why you want to keep watching. Yeah.
Whereas
you watch
films
it for the acting and all that.
Yeah, films like Midsummer and Us, which I rewatched after reviewing on the podcast, and I've upgraded my scores because I feel like there is a lot of story beneath the surface, as you say, where you can explore on the second watch.
Yeah.
Also, over time, film changes as well. Like, even you can think about a film, like, I remember saying I wanted to change my rating for like Shazam, for example, on the podcast. Like, you might enjoy it at the time, but the more you think about it, the more you're like, that was actually just an awful film.
Yeah, it can go up and down.
I came out of Lighthouse yesterday, and me, Francis, and Dan were speaking about it. And I'm like, oh, what did you give it? I was like, I honestly can't rate it now. I could not, because there's so much going on that you have to just sit down and think about this film for like half an hour, just to think about what did you see, and try and analyse everything that just happened.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing, rating films. It's a
very niche thing that
but you never do it. You wouldn't do it to a TV show.
No, I know.
For example, you wouldn't watch an episode of TV and go, what would you rate that out of 10?
Do you remember the good old days when you just watched something and you were like, yeah, I like that.
No, I
didn't like that.
Yeah.
And then someone was like, no, but where do you rate it? Imagine every meal you ate, rate it out of 10, rate it out of 10. It's like, no, just let me enjoy the foods. But I enjoy doing it now. That's like part of the fun. I like going, oh, wow, that was this film.
There's also sometimes I watch a film where I don't want to rate it, but you automatically
I always want to rate it. I always want to rate it.
Rating the whole way through.
Do you ever not think in a head, like, oh, I just want to watch a film and not think if this film's a 3 or a 4?
No, because I get excited, like, oh my god, this film's a 9, this film's a 9.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it goes up and down like a little graph.
What's the first point you rate something in a film? Mine's about an hour in.
As soon as the intro starts.
Really? Yeah, I kind of get my first score will go about 10 minutes in,
about 10
just while I'm
minutes.
settling. But I always know my score isn't going to firm up until an hour in. Yeah, about an hour in.
About an hour is when I kind of give it. That's the exit polls in like an election. So an hour in, you get like the exit polls.
You know, it's all about those final 5 or 10 minutes, though, depending on that 10. Because sometimes I rarely go, this is a 10. It's until I get to that final 10 minutes. I will be at 9, but you got to stick the landing.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean doing something spectacular like Uncut Gems or something. Sometimes it's something like intimate, like Irishman.
Yeah,
Totally.
just finishing us off in a way that satisfies you.
Anyway, we are well off topic. Can I ask, have either of you, I can't remember, and I didn't check on Letterboxd, seen Punch Drunk Love?
No.
I have not. I need to see it.
So that I would be interested in your opinions on that, because I think that is a better film, and it's definitely a better Adam Sandler performance, and it shows better than this what he can do in terms of dramatic acting. But like you were saying earlier, Paul, it totally still feels like Adam Sandler. It's just Adam Sandler being a bit more serious.
This is the thing I don't get at Adam Sandler. He's now showing he can do films like this. So why hasn't he done this before?
Because it's effort. I read the trivia on Uncut Gems that he passed on this, and the Safdie brothers sat on it for ages and were offering it out to other people, and then they came back to him. So Adam Sandler doesn't know a good thing when he sees it. It's not like Adam Sandler saw the script and was like, "Oh yeah, this is exactly what I wanted to do." He was like, "Nah, fuck that off. Let me go and make
Do you reckon it's
Grown-Ups
also down
2."
to money as well? Like,
Probably, yeah.
he's made they're making number 4 Netflix films, which are probably all going to be awful. But
That was the story how it played out, because what he denied that he wanted to do it, and then they were trying to find someone else to get on board. Like, I think they offered it to Harvey Keitel. I don't, he's a bit old for it now.
Yeah, they did.
But
And Sacha Baron Cohen.
yeah, and Sacha Baron Cohen. And then it was actually Robert Pattinson who came to him and said, "I really like what you guys are doing," and they made Good Time. And that's where they got the funds and got the notability to be able to make this film. And then I guess Adam Sandler jumped on board from that moment.
Yeah.
have you seen that statement he made though? He said, "If I don't get nominated for an Oscar for this film, I'm going to make some of the worst films you've ever seen."
That's just an excuse. He was going to make them anyway.
And then Oscar nominations come out, and then 2 days later, there's a press release from Netflix. Adam Sandler making 4 new films for Netflix.
Yes.
He's like, "Oh, it's happening now."
That's just stamping his feet.
But this is, I mean, compared to what the Safdie did before, this is better than Good Time. Because Good Time was good, but I really didn't like the ending.
Yes, it was good, but I didn't have a good time.
I only found out it was on Netflix this afternoon, so I was going to try and watch
Check it out, Adam.
Podcast,
Be interesting to see what you think. It's pretty interesting, and one of the Safdies is in it. He's Robert Pattinson's brother.
Benny, isn't it?
Yeah. And it kind of has the same sort of vibe in how it's filmed, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more structured, maybe. I don't know.
It doesn't stick the ending. That's the thing that
Definitely not.
makes it fall down. But it's got a good premise from the off.
It does. Do you know why it's called Good Time?
No.
Because in prison, if you get let out early, an early prison release, if you behave yourself, and it's called Good Time.
Yes.
Yes. But I must say that based on this conversation, boys, Parasite is my top, and Uncut Gems is my second.
I just think with Parasite, it's a film that, again, I watched it in November and I have constantly thought about it, and you can think about it throughout life. It's just a film, it's just more of a powerful piece of cinema, whereas this is, again, it's a good film to watch and you'll enjoy it, but I feel like...
I thought this was a great piece of cinema too, man. Like, it is very different.
No, but I feel like Parasite is a film you'll carry through your life. Well, not like through life, like in 10, 15 years, but just your daily life. I feel like there's more of a message with it.
Well,
that makes sense.
That's okay. Yeah, no, I agree. There's definitely more of a message, and I think like I would give it to Parasite simply because I could rewatch that and pick up new things, whereas Uncut Gems I would just rewatch and just enjoy again.
You're just kind of enjoying the ride in Uncut Gems, aren't you?
Exactly, yeah. But there's nothing wrong with just rewatching and enjoying the ride.
Yeah, of course. Nothing wrong.
What about you, Paul? Because you gave both an 8.
I would at the moment I would say Parasite. Yeah, but and I can't wait to watch that again because I really want to like see from the off, like as you say, explore the hidden depth in this film.
Yeah, there is and all that, but like it's not a bad thing for there to just be everything you need from the film on the first go. That's not to say that only good films have multiple layers revealing themselves. That's elitist bullshit. But I do feel like because of how good Parasite was on the first go, the idea that you can go in again and get even more from it has surely got to mean that it deserves a higher place.
100%. Yeah. It's exactly. It's like Midsummer on Us. When you go in the second time,
yeah.
It's like wow. Look, this is actually like not maybe you could say it fooled me on the first go round because you don't see what's coming, but on the second watch you do see what's coming.
You know what I thought when I came out of Parasite yesterday was how similar in theme it was to Us.
Oh yeah.
You know, when you sort of stop and think about it.
Oh, gonna get into spoilers, yeah.
What do you mean?
Like people being underground and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, we won't talk about it. Let's not talk about it. But you know, just the whole double idea and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I have no more to say on this film and this matter.
No, neither do I. But I think I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a hell of a lot of fun. I got to say, this year is started off so strong.
And for when we were talking last year, saying there's not going to be many good films out this year.
I know.
There's been quite a few good films out.
Jenny listened to our end of year one and she said that to me the other day. She said, you said that it was not going to be a good year, but look at you already giving so many nines.
It's always the way. It's because
It's Oscar season though, isn't it? Remember?
Well, that is the thing.
It's
Because
true.
like Parasite, Uncut Gems to an extent was considered, and 1917 are all in this Oscar run. Now we're going to have a little slump of things that don't deserve it.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, we're going in for Sonic and fucking Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey and Sonic just to bring the scores right back down to ground.
But then
I
my
really
score
hope
will
you
like
like
elevate
Sonic.
it like how it does every time.
True that. So then, shall we have a look at where this places in our overall scoreboard?
Let's do it.
All right, everyone. So basically, we had to take a time out there to work out our maths because it's got so complicated now. There are a bunch of other films that averaged out as an 8.3 for us, and they were Infinity War, Once Upon a Time, Buster Scruggs, and Avengers Endgame. And by committee, we have decided that Uncut Gems is better than all of them apart from Infinity War, but that's because Paul skewed the fucking scoring. So basically, out of all of our episodes so far, Uncut Gems is our 7th favourite film.
Well
Wait.
done. Well done for
We
placing.
got there.
Oh, yes.
We are the Uncut Gems. No one's got to the root of us yet.
Yes. So that's wonderful. We've done that, and that was great.
It was beautiful.
And now I need to have my dinner, and Adam needs to have my dinner, and our next episode will be...
Birds of Prey!
We're not doing Sonic first.
No, that comes after Birds of Prey, but we'll be watching Sonic before you see Birds of Prey.
I sees a man. I said I sees a man.
Whatever that's supposed to mean, yes.
Well, you beautiful
Anyway.
people, you can get in touch with us at FilmBusters Pod on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. You can email us at filmbusters@outlook.com. We also have a lovely website, which is www.filmbusterspod.co.uk. We have lovely reviews on there, and all our podcasts are on there, and it's absolutely wonderful. You can also
It's
get
like-
us
Does anyone
on...
even type in www before website anymore? I don't. I just type in.
Everyone just Googles what they're after,
Yes,
isn't it?
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. But you can also get in touch with us on our personal Twitter accounts. I'm at FilmBusters Paul.
I'm at FilmBusters Adam.
I'm at FilmBusters Ben.
And that's it. Thanks for
Everyone was
listening,
waiting for a
guys.
joke. You were waiting for me to say FilmBusters Samantha, weren't you?
Yes.
Didn't come.
Still
It's-
hasn't listened to that podcast, has he?
that is so last year, isn't it?
It was.
When are you going to start looking at your health? You know, you get what I mean, don't you?
Yes, I do.